I love that you show humility and you just kind of leave it up there with no names on. And shout out, of course, to Tumex, man. What's the name of
Yeah,
this song? Love Fights
that's
Back.
back. Yeah, yeah,
Yo,
and he caught us on Instagram too, and he was just like, "Yo," so and at the same time, it's somebody, an artist like that. It's good to put shine back on, because he's been out here for the anniversaries way back in the days as well. You know what I mean? So, and he's going through the struggle, but still fighting hard. So you gotta, I saw him not too long ago at BBoy Summit and copped one of his hats. So it was nice to. It's good to see people like that are inspiring. I mean, like, no matter how it's just that hip hop mentality, no matter how hard it gets, like, you can't stop, won't stop. Like,
yeah,
we'll figure it out. Let's keep it going.
that's beautiful. That kind of mantra is so needed right now, especially. But tell us about your teaching house. You get down, man. I mean, you teach at more than one college. Is that correct?
Now this past year, I'm only at ASU now, so I'm full time at ASU. I'm a clinical assistant professor now,
Right.
which is crazy. It's just crazy. Like, I mean, I teach hip hop.
Yeah,
It's when I say it is wild. So yeah, I mean, right now this past year, I got out full time. Before that, I probably taught at just about every community college, or a good chunk of all the dance studios. So just about all of them, and the GCU, Grand Canyon University. So I was at quite a bit of them, and I like that, but it's also nice, and this is the first, like, I haven't had any kind of 9 to 5 type of thing in 15 years or something, maybe more. But it's nice to have a pocket of students that you're going to work with and be able to build with, just like we would in the community. And there's a lot of work to be done at ASU, so don't trip. Like, at least right now, we almost have a clean slate to start over, and they're listening to me. And they're listening to, and I confer with other people in the community. It was called the Urban Dance Program. We just changed it to the Hip Hop Dance Program. I was like, we had the event that's Urban Soul, which is a great event, but we're changing that to Soul. We're changing that to Soul Power. Shout out to Why Not for that name. But so there's a lot of things we're building. It's no longer, hip hop classes are no longer just the elective type of thing. Like, we have hip hop for dance majors now. I'm starting an online history of American hip hop next semester as well. So yeah, man, it's, but at the same time, I'm still teaching the creative practices class. I'm still teaching the seminar classes. So it's not just teach a thing. It's like, cool, no, now share the things that you guys have in hip hop into our creative practices, where normally they would only get contemporary approach or ballet approach, or so it's a lot. Like I said, it's a lot of work. And I know I'm in the belly of the beast. It's a corporation. It's like anything else, and I understand that fully. And I'm happy to, as much as I'm happy to be there because of the difference that I think can be made. It's a resource that if we can really get our hands on it and really have a voice in it, it can be something powerful for the people.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I recognize, like, hip hop doesn't need the bells and whistles. We don't need anybody's accreditation. We don't need. We'll get to the point where we're gonna have our hip hop schools alone, or I've already asked ASU, like, yo, I want my own building. We need hip hop as its own building. And because for people to have to go to schools outside of hip hop to get accreditation, it's still problematic. But right now, again, they brought people in like me. And we're bringing in some more people on board. We got people like Leia and Ray from the Jukebox teaching some other non-major. So, we have a lot of guest artists coming through. Why Not graduated from there as well, and he's still doing some online classes. Right. So yeah, man, teaching's been, I still can't believe that it's a thing that I can't believe, because I remember the first day I ever got asked to teach was at the Thunderbirds Teen Center way back in the day on like Bell and 7th Street. And I was like, what? I was like, they're going to pay me to teach people how to break? They're like, yeah. And I was like, I thought it was a joke. I was like, you serious? Like, yeah, you paid $8 an hour. I was like, what? I was like, I'm a baller. Let's go. I made it. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, I still walk in the classrooms, and we got turntables in the classrooms, and, they battle for their finals. And like, to me, it's still like, ooh, this, we got a hip hop ensemble class where we bring in live musicians to jam with. So man, it's, it's still one-sided. It's still a privileged thing, and that's what we're working on, to be able to, equalize these things so everybody gets a fair shot. Because, it can be a good place of a resource. Uh, but yeah, so teaching's been in, and that's what I'm doing. I definitely love teaching.
That's tight. It's great that ASU has I won't say given you a space to do that, because you've earned it. Obviously, you're accredited. You've got pedigree, which is amazing. So in terms of your skill and what you can offer, you're the right man for the job over there at ASU for sure, in my opinion. And I think
Thank
in a
you,
lot
brother.
of oh yeah, absolutely, and I'm sure in their opinion as well. But now, like you mentioned, they're a business, right? I mean, like, schools are a business. They aim to big up the economy by putting out students who can get jobs and be successful, right? You step into onto the dance floor, and there's a crew getting down, showing their stuff, and you're with your crew, and it's go time. How has that prepared you for stepping into the arena at ASU in terms of their expectations of you and knowing what you can offer them? How has it prepared you, being a B-boy, for that transition?
It's a great question, man. Sometimes it's been extremely clear, and then sometimes I feel like, for myself, sometimes I forget the things that I've already learned in hip hop. Like, we already know hella stuff, right? And sometimes you forget that those things. Like, oh, I already know what this is, and I treat it like a cipher, man.
Yeah.
And it's this brand new cipher. It's this brand new community type of thing. And I just think, like, what did I have to do in breaking? I had to go to jams every single month out of state, and I had to be at every jam here. And I had to get seen. I had to get known. I had to put in work. I had to contribute, those kind of things. And so I'm starting to look at it in that kind of way. To me, the pressure of a cipher, the pressure of I use this example a lot, where the pressure of, like, battling an entire crew by yourself, getting caught up somewhere, and there's a whole crew that's on you, and, like, hey, let's go, or those kind of things. Once you get to, like, a 8-panel interview, where everybody else is super nervous, you're like, I got to talk to 8 people at the same time. That's cool. I've had 15 people that wanted to kind of kill me, battling me. So this is butter. So the pressure just seems a lot less, I think.
Wow.
And so it's that definitely, like, the other thing that I've started to notice is, because it's I'm not gonna lie, it's a lot of work. Sometimes you're putting mad long days. I'm sure sometimes you're putting 16-hour days. You're still grading or emailing at 10 o'clock at night. So, but luckily, just in my just really with Furious Styles Crew and hip hop and all of the work that I've been doing, I'm like, I was already working 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Everything that I was doing was work somehow. I didn't look at it that way, or I wasn't necessarily financially gaining from all of those things, but I was working all the time. Practice was rehearsal, and I was running a crew practice, or I was running an open practice for somebody else. I'm producing shows. So, like, this is like, oh, actually, this is not that bad. Like, it's crazy, because you're doing things, it's a lot different answering emails for 2 hours every day than doing some other stuff. But definitely that hustle, and that hustle that you learn from hip hop, of, like, man, I've been doing hip hop 24/7 forever. So cool. Now I gotta shape it a little bit different, or I gotta, like, but it's also exciting to learn the things that, like, to discover, like, oh, I know some shit. Wow, I'm actually pretty smart.
Yeah.
I just never said it in that language. I never, even when I did my grad school there stuff, one of the things that I walked away with the most is about self-discovery. And in a lot of the concepts that they would teach, I would be like, what I didn't get it at first, but then I was like, oh, we do that, but we don't call it this fancy thing. Yes, we go through that same process, because they're like, what's your creative process? I'm like, well, what? Like, I don't know. You just make some shit. You just paint. You just get it. And so it forces you to, like, oh, let me think about this. And then you go, oh, okay, I do have a creative process. I do have a teaching philosophy. I do have all these things that, I think maybe I started to, when I started teaching at the teen center back in the day, I had some really good mentors there. And I think from that kind of teaching is when I learned the value of hip hop, until I start valuing myself and my experiences. So, knowing that, like, I'm a B-boy, so I can, but I can walk into a corporate room and put on a suit and tie if I have to, and still articulate myself and talk to you. But you can't walk into the same streets that I can walk into. You can't walk into the, you know what I mean? So it's that kind of thing. So to me, it's that, like, B-boy, writer, hip hop head, like, where it's always battle time. You know what I mean? So you're always ready for the battle, and you always have to adapt. And there's no and if or buts. It's raining and I'm in Timberland boots. Somebody called you out. It's time to get down. I mean, you're just ridiculous stuff. But yeah, so it's definitely the rigidness and the pressure and that just the dick shit of that 24/7 trying to come up with ideas, trying to come up with pieces or whatever it is. Coming to this is like, man, this is a lot of work, but it's actually, I put in more time than this already.